Hello, friends. Good evening. Once again, PLC Guruji is available, and now today I am going to explain you about the basic things of PM573 ETH PLC. So, as a general information, we should know the product code for this PLC PM573 ETH is 1 SAP 130300R0271. This is the product code for this PLC. Now CPU type is PM573 ETH. This is basically a AC500 medium CPU. Now processor what we are using is 32-bit RISC processor. So RISC stands for Reduced Instruction Set Computer. Okay, and high performance PLC. Program memory size is 512 KB and data memory is also 512 KB. So the backup of the memory is done by the battery. Okay, and this is lithium battery basically used to do the backup of the RAM and real time clock. The type of battery what we are using is TSA 521. Now next we will discuss about the power supply. Now you see this is the place where we are going to install the power supply. In this if you see it is written DC in 10 watt. Okay. So this is the place where we are going to install the power supply. Okay. So rated power supply is 24 volt DC and the permitted range is from 19.2 volt to 28.8 volt DC. And current consumption for this PLC when the voltage is 24 volt then it is taking approx 350 milliamps. Internal isolation galvanically isolated between logic and communication port. Clear? Power protection. There is a built-in reverse polarity and transient protection. So you need not to worry by mistake if you are giving wrong connection to this PLC, then your PLC is not going to be damaged. So this should be clear in your mind. Next we will talk about IP20, that is called ingress protection. Okay, this is basically falls under IEC 60529. Okay, which describes how well electrically enclosure protects against solid object and liquid. It has no protection against water and dust, so it must be installed inside a controlled cabinet. Clear? We will talk about the communication interface. Now you see we have got how many interface? This is your Ethernet RJ45 and the data rate is 10 by 100 Mbps TCP IP communication. Next is your COM1. This is your COM1 and this is your COM2. So COM1 is basically designed for RS232 and 485 serial communication port and it supports Modbus, RTU and ASCII. Then next we will talk about COM2 port. This is your COM2 port. Now you see this is COM2 port and this is basically serial communication port and used for programming also. Tomorrow suppose if you want to program to access the PLC, then this is the port through which we give the connection and access the PLC. So there are two ports basically to access the PLC. One is your Ethernet port and second one is your serial port. Now next is IO and expansion. Local IO bus. So now you see this side. This is the place where the IO connection is given. Means input output modules what we are going to connect with this PLC, that will be connected through this IO port. Okay. So basically it supports up to 10 IO modules. That means with this PLC we can connect 10 input module, output module, analog module, digital input, digital output, analog input, analog output. Okay, so maximum module that can support up to 10. Okay, next, maximum expansion, that is called 320 digital input, 240 digital output, 160 analog input, and 160 analog output. Support expansion via communication media. Okay, so just generally you see this is the place. You see this is the place where we are installing communication module. Okay, and the IO bus type is proprietary ABB S500 bus. So now you have understand the basic. Now next we will talk about the physical and mechanical. The mounting of this PLC you see at the back, it is DIN railed 35 mm and protection is IP20. Dimension is 131 into 100 into 85 mm. Okay. Environmental condition, now we will discuss. Operating temperature is 0 to 60 degree. Storage temperature is minus 40 to 70 degree centigrade. Relative humidity 5 to 95%. Vibration shock as per IEC 60068-2-6. Okay. Altitude, we can operate this PLC up to 2000 meter without derating. Next, we will talk little bit about the performance. So basically you see Boolean logic, 1000 instruction it can process within 0.5 millisecond. Word instruction, 1000 instruction it can process within 0.06 millisecond. And floating point instruction, 1000 instruction can be processed in 0.6 millisecond. Cycle time, that can be user configurable. We can configure it from 1 millisecond to 100 millisecond. Now, we will talk about software programming. Suppose tomorrow if you are asked to do the programming of this PLC, then what are all the items you required? So first we need programming tools. So programming tools means we need some software. And basically what we are using is ABB Automation Builder, okay, and Control Builder Plus. These are the two software we are using to configure this PLC or to program this PLC. Now the support programming language. So which are all the language this PLC basically support? So this is called LD, that is ladder diagram, ST, FBP, BD, IL, SFC and CFC. These are the programming language this PLC is supporting. Next, supporting protocol. What are all the protocols it supports? It supports TCP, IP, RTU, SNTP, FTP, STTP, SMTP and FBP. Web server is built in. Now firmware upgrade. We can do the firmware upgrade via Ethernet port or serial port. This is called service port also. So these are the basic information about this PLC. Now in the next video I will explain you the function of the items available on PLC in detail. Okay, thank you, bye. If you like this video, please subscribe and share. Thank you.